Over the years, Nuzlocke challenges have been a staple of the Pokemon community. These playthroughs, at least the ones I was always exposed to, featured the creator forming a team of misfits with their own nicknames and personalities that they'd attach to them, making unlikely bonds and adding a lot of familiarity to the run. You'd find yourself becoming connected with Pokemon that you might never even thought of using before, and you'd live vicariously through the player and the little companions they'd find on their journey. To put it simply, Nuzlocks are very different nowadays, usually being experienced through more like optimized runs with storytelling elements to them, or just storytelling in general. However, one thing remains the same in these. One person at the helm, controlling the narrative and guiding you through your journey with the Pokemon you encounter. But what if this time that wasn't the case? What if, in order to gather the strength to persevere, we could allow ourselves to rely on others? My name is Mask, and for the third day of my Nuzlocke November challenge, I would like to introduce you to the Heart Gold Taglock. We start our Johto Jamboree like every other single person on the internet, ignoring the peering creep in the corner by the bushes and picking our starter. Now, I want to point out that I was being a little bit of a cheeky asshole about this run's gimmick, only having told like 2 other people about it and thinking if this was the funniest thing in the world that nobody else knew, then I was really gonna try and keep them on their toes. We grab our trusty Tototech Fighter 101, appropriately named after one of my viewers, and perhaps foreshadowing for one of the future captains of the run, maybe? Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, though. That implies we make it that far. We've been entrusted on a mission to collect an egg sample from Professor Elm's friend John Pokémon. Along the way, catching a hoot named Tiptoe and a disappointing Rattata that my chat absolutely insisted that we name Booger. And last but not least, thought to be dead to the world, the unthinkable was added to our team. Mew 3, the Spinnerack. After grabbing the suspicious egg from the infamous John Pokémon, Professor Elm reveals via ring camera footage to the cops that a young man stole only one of his starter Pokémon? And he stole a Chikorita. Why? Our little trek ends us up at Violet City, where we climb our way up the Bellsprout Tower and catch us a Ghastly. Lurking in the shadows, Catslord, longtime friend and thumbnail artist, makes a sharp and excellent point at convincing me of naming it Fart. Anyway, it's gym time! Faulkner sits atop his ivory throne of somewhat infamy for being one of a few trainers in the Johto region to have his hands on an action replay. Sporting a level 9 Pidgeotto as his ace, a whopping 9 levels before it can even evolve. What the fuck, dude? Side note, have you ever noticed how many notable trainers in the Johto games don't have many, if any, Johto Pokemon on their team? Like, why have an illegal Pidgeotto and not an illegal Noctowl? Or a Murkrow? I thought you were a bird guy! I have 1 bird, and it's already more unique than your whole entire squad. Anyway, all we really had to do was hit Uproar, let Tiptoe work his magic, and prove his strength as a representative of our team. That is why he does not have a Hoot. Noted. We beat the rest of the gym using Booger and grab our first and my only badge, as I have now officially completed my end of the Taglock, slightly scathed. As I don't have the rest of the footage from the streamers and creators just yet, this video is going to have to remain on a cliffhanger for now, but I made sure to reveal not only what this run was going to be about, but who will follow in our footsteps. Longtime viewer and fellow streamer, the only protagonist. In all seriousness, I got myself caught up in keeping the big reveal of the Taglock that I just played very poorly. I'm sure I could have entrusted my starter or Booger to really clean up shop easily, but thanks to my hubris, this team now has to take on Bugsy with not only 1 man down, but their best soldier for the job. But that's not my problem anymore. Good luck, Protag. Peace!